All right. Hey, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. Make sure we get Coach Mariah on board and then we will get started.
Hi.
Hey, Coach Mariah, how are you?
How are you?
Great. All right. 2 seconds. Let me get this going on Facebook and then we will get going.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Facebook Ads coaching call. I am Ashley Domasic, and I am on the product delivery team. And we are joined today by Coach Mariah, who is here to answer all of your Facebook ads questions. Let's see, the first thing I wanted to do was just remind everyone to keep yourselves on mute. That way we can cut back on any background noise. And then if you do have questions for Coach Mariah or follow-up questions, you can unmute yourselves at that time. Also, just a reminder that all of your calls for this week have been recorded and will be available in your learning portal. So all you have to do is log in to your learning portal and you'll click on the daily coaching calls, go down to the bottom, and you should be able to find all of the recordings for that day there, or for that week there. The other thing I wanted to remind everyone is that as you're going through the course, if you have any questions, if you're having trouble implementing, if you're still in your 8-week program, just know that we'll be sending some information to your inbox closer to the end of your 8-week course period, and we'll be able to make sure that you can continue on with the CIA and that it's not going anywhere and that we are here for you. So I just wanted to remind everyone of that. We did have a couple of pre-submitted questions, so we're going to get to those first. But before we do that, I did want to bring up a couple of wins. The first one was from CIA Plus student Trisha Carter. She said that she's already graduated CIA and has just been reviewing lessons as needed. But this came in yesterday. She decided to start from the beginning again, and already she is happy that she's doing it. She sees some lessons are updated, they've been modified, and that she is being reminded of the words of wisdom that she has forgotten over time. So she said, thank you, and then it never hurts to refresh one's thoughts and notes, which is amazing, and thank you for sharing that, Trisha. We are making some course updates, and so you'll be able to see those as we update them in your portal. The other win I wanted to share was actually one from Joy. She had submitted a question, but then she went to the CIA Facebook group and she actually found the answer to her question herself. So I thought that was awesome. She sent her question and then she let us know that she found the answer. So therefore, she was being resourceful, which is one of the things that Erin teaches. So great job, Joy. All right, Coach Mariah, a couple questions. We did have one come in from Stephanie, and looks like she's here, so we can go ahead and get that answered. Looks like she's just got some questions. When you use a lookalike audience, is it national only?
Yeah, it is national only. The thing about a lookalike audience, though, is like when I use the lookalike audience, I do get, people outside of my state or city, but generally, because most of the people in your audience are in your within your sphere or your city or town, when you create that lookalike audience, majority of those people are going to be in your actual area. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. The other thing too is even if you're reaching people on a national scale, I never think that's a bad thing. Like, we've had a lot of people that have been referred to us from random people we've never met that follow us on social media. So I wouldn't worry about that either. I don't know. I think there's benefit to both, but the lookalike audience is like far and away one of our best warm like not even a retargeting. It's one of our best lead gen resources that we use. So whether it be like for more page likes or more engagement or whatever it may be, those lookalike audiences are like pure gold. So yeah, but it is only national.
Perfect. Stephanie, did that help? All right, we got the thumbs up. All right, just a couple of questions that we had about some pixels. And I do want to just point out that we know that there has been some updates to the Pixel page since Erin recorded the lesson. She's aware of that. She's looking into, like I mentioned, she's re-recording a lot of the videos in the lessons. So that is definitely one that is on her radar, and she is going to be working through that. So the question, we'll go ahead and get to Lauren's question. They are on Pixel, so Coach Mariah, you can just see if you can get her some clarification, some workarounds here for the next little bit until Erin can get to that video. But her question looks like she's got a couple. She went through and installed the Pixel on her site, but she says, when I go back, I'm using the Chrome install to check that there is a Pixel on the site. Pixel ID does not match the one that Facebook has for me. I am also no longer seeing analytics for my Pixel where before I did. Any ideas of things she could do?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know why. And like Ashley said, Erin's going back through to re-record all the Pixel videos just to make sure they're the most up to date. I know like in the last couple months, they've really been giving us trouble. Not entirely sure why your Pixel would show up as a different ID. I guess the only suggestion I would have is maybe make sure on your analytics side that you are checking the right pixel. And if you are, this is still, you can still use your pixel for things like engagement ads. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, Lauren, you can unmute yourself.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, so when I am installing the Pixel, or when I'm in the ads manager, on the top left corner, there's like a drop down, and the drop down has like my name, and then it has like my business name. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So when I go to the events manager and I click the drop down for my business, it looks like no, there's two different ones. Like this is like changing all the time, but when I click on my business one, I have a Pixel, it's installed, it ends in like 19, and then I go to the my website and I use that Chrome installer thing and I see that it's there, but when I go to run an ad, I can't link that ad to that pixel. But when I click on my name in the drop down, it wants me to like, I don't know, there's like another, now it's different than what it was before. So weird. There's like a whole nother pixel that's not set up that it wants me to set up. But when I run an ad, it will let me use, it'll give that pixel ID, the one that's not set up.
Okay. I'll just run through really quick, setting up an ad and then see if maybe we can like find along the way where there's like a discrepancy.
When you say setting up an ad, like I think that where this is manifesting is when I set up an ad to a audience that already exists. Like, you know, you want to like retarget audiences. Like I don't even see those audiences I created.
Okay, so let's just go through and make an ad and see what we can find. Okay, no, we don't want this. Okay, so Were you running a traffic or engagement ad?
I was just following the week 5 and I was doing a video views ad that
Okay.
she wanted us to run against like an audience that we had already created.
Right.
Or even when I just went to create an audience against the, what's it called? The pixel, I'm not allowed to, like, it's not giving me the option to choose a pixel that I have installed in my site.
Okay. Let's just see. So the reason that it's not letting you is you've probably created your custom audiences underneath the other pixel. Like if you drop down in the top here, this is what you're talking about, right? Where it's your personal and your business.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to close this ad really quick. And then let's go to the events manager. Oh no, we don't want this. We want audiences.
I see.
So when you're creating an audience, you need to make sure that you are under your business account.
I did. When I'm looking at this, it shows that that's what I created it under. But maybe it has to do with when I create an ad.
Yeah, so you always, like, this is kind of the trouble, and I don't know why Facebook started letting us have personal ad accounts, but it does become really confusing for people, like, and because there are so many places that we need to check and make sure we're on the right account. If I was on this account, like, none of my custom audiences would convert over, none of my what do you call it, like, none of my actual business pixel would be pixeling people. It would be all under this, my personal one. So I'd make sure I'm on there. Go back to video views. We'll do this again. Was your campaign in the special ad category?
No, I was just making the video one. She said to run against your retargeting ads. And I'm not finding that those saved audiences are there.
Okay, so if you go to custom audiences, like if you just click here, it should say audience, create a new audience, use a saved audience. That would be ones that, like, if you actually went and like set up an ad for, let's say, open houses, you can use that as a saved audience. But if you're looking for your custom audiences where you have your warm retargeting, they should show up when you just click on this
box. Okay.
Like they should.
Oh, okay.
Do you see them now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what?
Yeah, I know.
I still don't know about the
like
until you
fool around with Facebook ads a ton, like, and you're on there, like I'm on here, like it's one of my top visited websites. That's how often I'm on my ads manager. That's when you really start to get familiar with everything. So don't feel, and like even this, there's so many confusing different spaces that you can use. So I don't worry, it's totally fine.
Okay. But what do you feel about the pixel issue that
So
I'm having?
with the install, I know I was just chatting with Erin this week and she was saying, I'm pretty sure the pixels are properly installed. Like, are you coming up on the, like at the end where it says your pixel is not installed properly?
No, it says my pixel is installed, but when I go to create an audience against my pixel, I think what's happening is the pixel ID that I have installed is not showing up.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'll share one more time just to see if we can get.
It's in the audience. It's like the pixel ID that's showing up that I can create audience for ends in a 4.2, but the one that's on my site ends in a 1.9. So it's like they're not the same pixel.
So it's under your pixels then that this is happening?
Yeah.
Or did
So
you
like
say
the
audience?
4.2 is where I can run an ad. Like when I go to add an audience, if I go to create an audience, the pixel that I can run it against, the only option I have is one that ends in a 4.2, but the one that I have on my site ends in a 1.9. And then if I go to my events manager, my and I go on my business page, the pixel that I have there ends in a 1.9, which is the same pixel that's on my site.
So
So
you're talking about right here, right? Like this is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So that is actually your business ID number, I'm pretty sure. Like if you look, this is my business ID number, and it's different from.
But if you look right, see where to the right, you have the YYC Life Pixel ID.
Mm-hmm.
So it ends in a 2.6. So if I go and I click, like if you click the YYC Life and you see that ends in a 2.6, mine ends in a 1.9. But when I go to run an ad, go to create an audience to run an ad against this pixel, it ends in a 4.2. And I don't even know like what that is.
Is that your account ID though? Versus like your pixel?
No.
So what number does your account ID end in?
My account ID, like where you are, that ends in a 6.4. My business ID ends in a 6.4.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure. Do any of these, like if you look at your personal one, does that end in a 6.9?
Well, I guess there's like another pixel that like just popped up that is on like the page that you are on right here. That's a second pixel and it ends in the 4.2. But I don't want that one because I have another pixel that's already been running. So can I just like delete it? I don't know why I have two.
Delete pixels. What you're gonna have to do. Whoops.
It says like I'm almost done with that pixel, but I don't even want that pixel.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know why it's there.
I thought you were worried.
So if you go into the pixel that you want, if you're on this page in your events manager, and you go to details and then create audience from here, this should create a custom audience right from the pixel you want.
Oh, okay.
And then I would just make sure you name it something like totally different from any of the audiences that you've named. So like maybe put like a star with like big letters, like use this pixel or this audience.
It gives me a pop-up that says to create an audience or custom conversion, you first assign your pixel to an ad account in the business manager. Maybe that is what is wrong with it.
Yeah, that could be it too.
Oh, okay.
I know everyone's been having like the pixel stuff lately has just been like tricky. And I think a lot of it too, like almost seems like misinformation on Facebook's part, but I don't really know how you would set up your pixel with an ad account, but it sounds like that's the problem and should hopefully resolve it for you.
Okay. It's still like popping up even if I go to fix it.
Okay, while we're figuring that out, if anybody else has any Facebook ads questions, you want to go ahead and put those in the chat. We can go ahead and make sure we get those answered. The rest of the questions, I think we had, Michelle had a question, but she looks like she already got an answer for it. She did have another question for you, Coach Mariah. She found an older account today. Should she delete that or hide it?
What kind of account? Like an older ad account?
Michelle, do you want to unmute yourself and clarify a little bit?
Yeah. I have like 4 accounts, and one says it was just open recently, which is really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to sort the accounts and find out what's happening. Like somehow I inadvertently maybe started one. I mean, my Facebook business account I've had for a couple of years, and we've done ads out of it and everything. But when I went to look in at the account, I found there's like 2 personal and 2 business in there.
Yeah, I don't think you can delete accounts. If you could, let's just take a gander together.
So would you just suggest keeping track of the account number that I use the most and just make sure I'm always clicking on that and just
Yeah, that
tune
is
in
what
to
I would
that?
do. So if you go to your business manager, this might help. Go to your business settings down in the bottom.
Okay.
You may be able to, like if you look at pages or ad accounts. Oh,
Yeah.
you can close ad accounts, it looks like.
So we used to run ads and we don't run them right now. That's why I'm here and
Yeah.
it's out. So it is an old ad account. Oh, it looks like you can hide it. I don't have anything tied to anything yet.
Is Lauren still on the call?
Yes.
If you go into your business setting and go to pixels, you might be able to add your pixel through here.
It's already in there,
Oh,
but I
Can't
can't
lie.
create an audience from it. Like I added people. Did you see on the right, you have add people,
mhm.
but, and I have 2 pixels, which I think is my problem. And I don't know if I can like delete one of the pixels.
If that one pixel is the one that all of your information is coming from or default, I would just go back and reinstall that pixel into all of your like websites and stuff.
So just use the second pixel that is the only one I can run against. But the weird thing is when I go to my, when I go to my like events manager, I have one pixel that's set up and then one that needs to be set up. And it took me so long to install the first pixel. Like I had to like follow all these YouTube things that I don't even know what I did. Like, why do I have 2 pixels now?
I don't know, but the tricky thing with Facebook ads is they don't let you delete pixels.
Oh, I see. So you think I just need to set up the one that it's allowing me to use?
Yeah, like either way, you're going to have to choose one of them to be like your only or like primary source. Like you don't want to have 2 separate pixels running because your information is just going to get too spread out over both pixels. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't want to reset up a new pixel because it's so many places it lives. I don't know why it's not letting me. I can't create an audience with the pixel I want, even the way that you told me to.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
This is Trish. I have 5 pixels, unfortunately. And they don't allow you to delete any of them. So I figured out which one was the best one for my business page, because some were for my personal page and some were for my business page. And I just keep track of my business page one and make sure, even though it will default to one of my other ones, I think the one on my personal page, I always make sure at the end before I post it that it has the right pixel number. And I just take the last 4 digits of the pixel and make sure I keep track of it. Because if not, yeah, you'll have ads over different places. And when you go to look for them, you can't find them, which is what has happened to me in the past. So I just went through and I found out which one was the main one, for my business page. And I make sure I always use that pixel, if that helps. But yeah, they're all
Thank you.
active, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.
And I only have 5.
No big deal.
Thank you, Trisha. Thanks for sharing that. A question for you from Arvind. How can we use best practices to create pixels? What are those best practices, Coach Mariah?
So I would just follow the video right now that's currently in CIA. And then whenever Erin does update that video, I'm sure there will be like a post of some sort, because that is pretty important information. But I would just honestly like follow step by step. Come to these calls if you have questions. If you have a question on a Friday and you don't want to wait till the next Thursday, you can always post them in the group and we can get to them there. Yeah.
Awesome. And if anybody else does have any questions on Facebook ads, just go ahead and pop those into the chat. We didn't have a ton of pre-submitted questions today, so we do have some extra time here to answer any other questions you have. So if anybody wants to go ahead and get those submitted, that'd be perfect. And then Coach Mariah, was there anything else that you wanted to touch on today, if there's no other questions?
No, I can show you guys if you want kind of like my ad strategy for like engagement ads, I guess. I don't use this a ton on conversion ads. I was thinking about like, I meant to get a blog post up so that I could show you guys like how I would split test an engagement versus a conversion, but yeah, I don't know if that would interest anyone, but yeah.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. And then I know Dee had a couple questions, but we'll pick those up here in a second. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen. Maybe I'll go based on my last blog post. So, oops, I meant to go. So we'll create an ad. The first one I would do, I'll just start with traffic. This is not going to be a special ads category. I'm going to run a blog post based on, it's going to be like a coronavirus resources update for my city. So I'll call this one coronavirus, oh look, blog post traffic. So that's what I'm going to call, I'll call it 2 because I've already run this ad. And then here, I'm only going to spend $2 a day. Always change coronavirus blog post traffic. You always want to make sure you change your ad names and ad sets and ad campaigns to always match, just so that it's easier to follow through with. From here, so here I can run, like if I wanted only to run to a warm audience, again, I can say all people who've engaged, lookalike audience, people who have engaged with my Instagram, all that stuff. I'm just going to leave that blank right now because I think this is a good resource for everyone. This again is where on ads like this, because it's not a special housing ad, I can become more targeted in the age range that I'm working with, so that when I do have a special housing ad, I can send it to a warm audience, essentially of people who have already seen, engaged with any of my ads or posts, which is kind of like my little workaround for how to target age ranges, because like people that are 18 aren't typically going to be buying houses. Also, people who are over 65 are usually not buying houses. So I typically go 25 to 55. Detailed targeting, again, you can do things like realtor.com, you know, Zillow, house hunting or new house, house hunting, etc. Again, there's also this option now where you can reach people beyond the detailed targeting. So this here has me at about 2 million people, which is very broad. Oh, that's also because I'm across all of Canada. Okay, so I'll go 15 miles and go as little as 10 because it's not a special ad category. This now reaches 120,000 people. If I took out the detailed targeting, likely it would be a lot higher of a reach, but that's why they have this option to reach people beyond, but I'll just leave it for now. Auto placements, I never do. If you're just starting out, it's totally fine to do. I don't find that my ads convert particularly well on Instagram for whatever reason in my sphere. I find that Facebook converts, this is just for me, I find Facebook converts better for ads in general, where Instagram is more like organic leads, I guess. So I uncheck everything first so that I can go through and choose what I want. Ugh, I don't know why. Okay, anyway. So I'll go through, I'll say Instagram news feed, Instagram marketplace I don't typically do unless sometimes, like if I have like a just listed, I'll put it in the marketplace just because sometimes people do go through and look for houses, like there's a real estate option and then your ad would show up as a sponsored post essentially in there. Video feeds I also don't do just because this ad is not going to be a video. If it was a video views ad, I would click video feeds. The right column is just going to be on the side, so I can click that one. Explore on Instagram, I don't do, like most of the Instagram stuff I don't do. Same with the inbox. I've never actually tried that, and I don't know that I can, but I feel like reaching out to someone in the inbox would be, again, pretty spammy and like aggressive. Your stories, again, because it's a still image, I'm likely not going to do it through stories. If I were, I would do Instagram stories because I don't find Facebook stories convert very well. But I won't do that this time. InStream, again, is going to be in the middle of a video. Not going to do that. In the search, I usually don't do this either, honestly, but this would be like if someone were to search coronavirus resources, you would show up here. Messages, again, I don't do. In article, you can do. And then you're going to, because this is not a landing page, I will optimize for link clicks. You can also optimize for impressions. So this just shows like a link click will charge you anytime anytime someone clicks on your link. Impressions are going to charge you, basically, it's going to send out your ad like as many times as possible. So the same person might see your ad 8 times in one day. And then your daily unique reach is going to be where people they see it a maximum of 1 time a day. So if you're looking to spread your information farther, not necessarily more, unique reach is a good option, but I will optimize for link clicks because it is a traffic ad. And then I'll set a start and end date. So we'll say today, and then next Thursday we'll stop it. And then here we're gonna call it again. I don't know how to spell. Coronavirus blog post traffic. You're going to choose which Facebook page you're running it from. If I had Instagram, it says here add Instagram placement. So that would be if I had it in the feed, the Explore, the stories. And then here, okay, so this is where I'm going to copy and paste my website. I think I have it under lifestyle. There we go. Okay, so I would copy this and paste it here into your website URL. It should populate with my picture. There you go. So this is what it's going to look like to people. Oh, I can also use an existing post, which would probably be better. Let's see. Oh, here it is. So because I've already posted this, it'll just change the post into an ad. You can change your call to action if you want. Oops. You can change your call to action if you want. Oh, never mind. You can't in this if you use a post, but okay. And then your Facebook pixels turned on, it will have the ID down here. So make sure, like, if you have more than one, that you have it written down or saved somewhere that you can quick reference that you have the right pixel on, and then confirm it. Okay, so this is now in draft. We're just waiting for Facebook to publish it. And then when they do publish it, it'll go active. So here we can do, so this is where I would split test what converts better for me, an engagement versus a traffic. I would do the exact same thing. Engagement 2. Again, we'll just do $2 a day. Then continue. Edit these again to be 25 to 55. Do manual placements. So for engagement, I would be more inclined to do Instagram, but for the sake of showing how I would review analytics on both, we'll just do the same one. So marketplace, I can't, right column, I can't. Okay. And then this one costs, basically it's just per post engagement. So any like, share, comment, they're going to charge for that. And then again, we'll set a start and end date for next week. And select a post, and we'll use the same post. Okay, pixel and confirm. And then next week, like on our ads call, I can show you how I compare the two analytics for both of them, what I would consider successful and what I would not. So does that sound good?
Yeah, that was actually Stephanie's question. She was asking if we can review your analytics next week. So
yes,
sounds like that's the plan.
Yeah, so next week, I'll just have like, I'll show you what I look for in my analytics, and then how I would change my next ad, let's say, based on those analytics.
Perfect. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah.
Very helpful. All right. Dee did have a question. It probably is a combination of your call and Coach Myra's call, but I'm going to go ahead and get your feedback on it. I did my first landing page, but I have questions. I couldn't figure out the pixel, and I went to create pixel. It was asking for me for a website URL. I don't have a website, so I didn't know what to put there. Also, in her ads manager, it said that she reached 2,370 and had 329 results. My question is, how do I keep the emails I receive? She's with Keller Williams, and they're using Command for their CRM. And is Command compatible with Listings to Leads?
I don't know if command is we can look. So let me just start from the beginning. Did your first landing page, couldn't figure out the pixel. When you went to create the pixel, it was asking for an ad ID, or an URL, which it shouldn't. Hold on, I'll share my screen and just really quickly show what it would look like, or it should look like. So let's go back to this. So you just press get started, and you can click continue without needing your website ID. Like, you don't need to have a website URL. And then from here you can add, manually add your code. This is what you would do. Again, you're gonna want to, what do you call it? Like, you're gonna want to install that onto the back end of your listings to leads. So if we go into listings to leads, okay, and then we go to your profile. And then just on your account, there should be a pixel option. You're going to click add new HTML, and from this, where you're going to click setup, you're going to manually add this pixel code into right here, call it Facebook pixel, and then that should be it. That, like, this is mine. And then if you have it on, it's just going to auto populate into any landing page you make. So that's just kind of the quick way to do that. Let me think. Your ads manager said it reached 2,300 people and 329 results. So the difference between, it would depend on if you had a traffic or engagement ad. The reach is going to be how many people, hold on, let me just make sure I'm not confusing reach and impressions. So let me just go to my ads manager and double check. Oh, this isn't what I wanted. Okay, so your reach is going to be the number of people that have seen your ad. So with the ad you ran, you had 2,300 people see that ad. When it comes to impressions, it's going to be how many times that ad went out. So oftentimes you find the impressions are higher than the reach, just because one person may see your ad more than once. Like, you may have someone see your ad 5 times, so they'll only count as one reach because they're one person or profile. And then you were saying you have 329 results. So your results are going to be based on what your ad was running for. If it was an engagement, it's going to be from that ad you ran, 329 people liked, commented, or shared that post. Sometimes it's hard because you don't necessarily see them, especially when it's shared, because Facebook will count, like, if, let's say, your mom or your sister shares that ad, or maybe not your mom or sister. Let's just say Joan from down the street has shared your post because she thinks, oh, this is a really great, list of events for people. People then who like or comment on that post that she shared, if her profile is private, you won't be able to see that, unfortunately. But the 329 is going to be either 329 people liked, commented, or shared. And again, if you're running a traffic ad and you ran it for link clicks, that means 329 people clicked on that link. So if you're running that to, like I'm running to, a blog post that has no lead capture, it's just purely providing value, people are you won't be able to capture their information. But if you're sending them to a landing page, that's where you're going to be able to capture their emails, phone numbers, and you don't necessarily have to, like, if you're I don't know much about Keller Williams. We've never even considered joining that brokerage. So I don't know if Keller Williams Command is one that all of your leads get shared once you put them in or not. But if they are, I would not put those leads that you get into that CRM. Those are leads that you generated on your own, and they should be protected as such. But if it's just like a regular CRM where it's all your own individual, I can't really comment on that, but yeah, then you can automatically have it linked straight to your CRM. So it imports, like we have Follow Up Boss, and we just have it so that it automatically imports to its own list. Does that kind of help with those questions?
Yeah, it did. It was a listing that I had ran and got those people, but now that I captured their email, I was trying to figure out where do I put it. Again, I do use command, and it is my own command. I mean, the company don't have nothing to do with that. Maybe I get left. They probably could keep it, but
right. And that's kind of the worry about using like brokerage provided. Obviously, like people want to save money too, right? So I get that. If I'll just hop onto listings to leads and see, there should be a list of CRMs that you can automatically import to. Here, CRM integration. It looks like no. I don't know. That might be a better question for Myra, though. She probably has a way of figuring it out around there.
So if I was using one of those that I just saw, it would just automatically import there. I would have to just click on whichever one of those in order.
Yeah, you would just set it up to automatically import to your CRM.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No prob.
All right. Thanks, Dee. Just a couple of other questions. It looks like Lauren's creating some content for May using all of the templates that Erin provides, and a lot of it is events. I know that we did update that so that it's not all like I know that there's like a Mother's Day, but it's not like it was. I'll tell you that it was like here's what to do in the city town for Mother's Day. Now it's more of like, here's some things you can do for Mother's Day to celebrate. Like whether it be sending a card or making a photo book and sending it. So I know that those were updated. The other thing I would suggest, Lauren, is going to the social distancing kit and just getting some ideas there as well. And looks like there is a question from someone. If you don't have a website set up, where do you put the blog post?
So if you don't have a website set up, you can't really run a blog post. If you wanted, you could have it behind a landing page. And if you wrote up an entire post, you could send it through the auto responding email, or even create a little PDF. And I've showed before, like you can hook it up to your Google Drive and share it with people through that. But those would kind of be my two suggestions. If you don't have a website right now, though, I would kind of focus more on like just putting out really quality content. Like you can probably turn a blog post into like a 5-part series on your Facebook, right? Like you can have like Tips Tuesday, where every Tuesday you're sharing like a home buyer's tip. And for the month of May, let's say, saying this is first-time home buyers, or this is an investors month. So these are all tips for investors. Right now is probably a great time to invest. People's, real estate markets have slowed down. So sellers are more motivated to sell, that kind of stuff. So you can turn that into a 5-part series easily. Same with like, if you were to do a hotspot, I would just send them to that person's website, maybe not through an ad. I wouldn't pay money to do an ad to that, but I would just have like your hotspot, link it to their profile, and then link their website as well on Facebook, just so that you're kind of showing that you're providing value all around to everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Arvin was wondering, can we start investing in a website builder, and who do we look at? Arvin, if you wait just a little bit, once you get to week 6 in the course, you'll start learning who Erin recommends, and you can get all of the information there at that point.
The other thing, Leah, or oh my gosh, Lauren, if you like, I currently just have my weekly events, I've just shifted all the wording and stuff on my landing page and added it to be like my newsletter, my weekly newsletter. So I'm just sending out information on that, like whether it be on a hotspot or, you know, places that are still, you know, doing curbside pickup or free delivery in the city, or like we just did one on like 5 local bookstores that are still doing delivery, 5, you know, local breweries that are doing curbside pickup. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that we're putting out now that we can't do events. Yeah, just kind of helping everybody be entertained at home, even though it's really hard.
All right. One more question for you, or actually it's just a comment from Latrice. She was saying if you don't have a place to blog yet, looks like she has written some articles on LinkedIn. So that's another option.
Yeah, totally. LinkedIn, like I know people have asked before about like marketing on LinkedIn, and like honestly, everything that we post on Facebook or Instagram converts also really well on LinkedIn. So, and for sure, like videos, again, like you want to post natively. If you have a video that you're posting on Facebook, you do want to post it natively to Instagram, to LinkedIn, to YouTube, instead of posting it one place and sharing it. Just because you'll end up with more organic reach that way. People like, or websites don't want you leaving their website, especially social networks, for another social network. So if you can post natively, that would be ideal.
Awesome. And then Vicki is watching on Facebook, and she was wondering where she can get access to all of these video calls, I believe. Since she joined, Vicki, we do record these, and they're actually in your learning portal. If you log in and click on daily coaching calls and scroll all the way to the very bottom of the page, you'll be able to find the recordings for the last few days there. So we do it a week at a time, so you can view all those recordings there. I hope that helps. All right, so I think we've got through all of our questions today. So thanks so much, Coach Mariah, for all your help and answering Facebook ads. Just another reminder, we will look at the pixel issue. We know that is an issue, and Erin is on that. So thank you so much for joining us. If you have any wins, go ahead and please post those in the Facebook groups. We do have our High Five Friday post going out today, so that's the perfect place to post your wins so that we can all celebrate with you together. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.